Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to continue working on part 4 of this house build. Let's get started. So in the previous video, we started creating the kitchen. And then now we're going to continue working on this. We need to go back to section. So you can also click on this section. And then you'll be able to see the section that we created earlier in the video. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click architecture again, model in place, and we're going to create the top cabinet. Click OK, and then now we're going to create an extrusion. We're going to set that extrusion, or we're going to pick the plane to this wall. After that, we'll be able to create our cabinetry. So as you can see, what I'm going to create here is the width is the all the way to the wall, and then this casing for the fridge and the oven, and then we're gonna add something at the top as well. So here I have 800, so I'm setting it at 800, and then I'm just gonna measure this, and I think yes, the height is good enough, or we could just move it down a little bit like so. So I'm happy with this. Now we just need to set our material. So the case is ash for the bottom or the base cabinet. What I'm planning to do is to change this to a different wood. So I'm gonna use birch, or birch is already added. So I'm gonna use this instead, the glossy one. I want it to be extruded from the wall around 500 or 450. Apply, and then OK, and click finish, because we're gonna create the cabinet um, at a different one, at a different model in place. So I'm just gonna finish this and see it in 3D to visualize. It's looking good. So I'm gonna create the top portion. So I'm gonna go back to section, click on model in place, generic model, and then click on extrusion again, pick a plane, which is this wall, and then let's change the material. I'm going to use the semi-gloss and use rectangle to cover this. I want it to be extruded more, so around 650 or 600. So let's see that first. Click finish, and then finish. Go back to 3D, and it will look like that. We could add in pot light at the top. So that's good. And then I'll go back to section. Let's finish this off. So architecture, model in place, another generic model. This will be model number 6. It's an extrusion. We're gonna pick the plane, and we're gonna pick this plane. We need to change this to a different. So let's change it to the glossy one. Same material as the case. After that, let's click on rectangle. I usually put in the rectangle first, and then after that I will nudge it at the side. So click on the line and then use your arrow key to just press left and right. I'm also going to do the one at the top. So I'm just giving it space. And then after that, same idea what I did earlier or in another video, in an earlier video, is to do a rectangle. What I can do is I could align all of this with the other. So give me a second. I'm just gonna add it for now. It will give me an error, but that error doesn't, it's basically telling you that the small lines on the top will need to be removed. So there we could align that, and then we should create more so that we could just align it all the way. So copy, and then I'm just gonna add in multiple and then use my align, and then now let's use align AL to just align them all together. Okay, now we need to remove the small lines that we created from the rectangle, and then now SL, split element. Do it again below, and then now type in TR, trim and extend. Then once you're done, make sure your extrusion is around 25 only. Apply and then click OK and then finish. Let's look at it at 3D, and then it will look like that. It looks much better. And then let's not forget, we're gonna create an island. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to move it just like that to give us some room. And I'm just gonna extend it more so that when we create our sheets, it's already extended. So I'm just gonna extend it like that. And then here, we're gonna use model in place again, generic model. And then let's create an extrusion right here. This, we need to change the material first. The case, another wood. Let's use cherry or Douglas fir. Let's use this instead. Apply, OK, and then click on rectangle. And let's estimate this one. What we could do is we could use this, and then this is the one for the cooking area. So I'm gonna press escape, click tab, and then we could move it like so. And then we're gonna create an extension for this right here for the seating area. So it's a completely different design, but I want to create it like that. So I'm just using my arrow key so that I can um, estimate the distance, and then I'm checking it with my dimension. So that's about it. And then we could add in, so we have room here to enter. We have the cooking area. I'm gonna add a hood, and then we're going to extend something here for the seating. So we're gonna change the design, somewhat design. So here, go to modify again, and then we're gonna extrude this up to 900. So similar height with the sink here. Click finish, and then don't click finish again. We're gonna create the top. The top will be another extrusion, but we're gonna set the extrusion top to 900, and then this one will now be 925. So this one will be a stone. So let's go to stone. And let's use marble. Apply, OK, and then use rectangle to have the same one. So same layout. Click finish, and then finish again. Let's look at it 3D. And there you have it. And then we're going to extend something right here. We can actually create another one with a waterfall top. Waterfall top basically is having the same top on the side as well. So an extension. But we can do that later. But what I'm gonna do now is create the one here so that we could add in our seats. So now let's go back again to level 1. It will be another extrusion. So model in place, generic model, and then it will be another extrusion. It will be rectangle, and let's change the material first. It will be either stone or wood, so depending on what you want. I'm gonna choose stone, and then let's use this. And then it will be just a rectangle, and probably 2 seats is enough. I'm gonna select this. So basically what you do is you just hover with your arrow key or mouse, and then tab in. So click on tab, it will select everything. Click it again, and then you can move it MV. So let's move it on the mid. What we could do is we could even move it here and then move it back so that we know that it's the midpoint. There we go. So now we have the midpoint of this and the recent thing that we created. So I'm happy with this, at least 2 seats. Let's extend it a little bit. Let's make it 1150. Click finish. But actually, let's change this to, I want it to be lower a little bit. So I want it to start at probably around 600. And this one will be around 800. So let's look at it. Apply, click finish. So it will look like that. I rather have a support. So what I could do is, instead of creating it here, I will create it in section. So the reason for this, I'm just gonna cancel it. So I'm canceling it. Now let's go to section. I think this is a better move that we could do. It will be another model in place, generic model. And then let's click on extrusion. We need to pick a plane. I'm gonna pick this plane, which is the island. And then now we still have marble. We need to change this to the other one that we canceled. So go to stone. We use rubble. So I don't know if it's right here. Click apply, okay. And then now we could just create it from here. So I could estimate the height, which is this one. Let's move it up a bit. And let's create some sort of design here. I'm going to create this. Delete this and then trim this. And then let's move this a little bit back. Press escape, move this a little bit back. We can extend this by selecting the lines and then extending it. It's like stretching. And then we may do a fillet arc. I think it will look nice. Just a little bit of an arc. There we go. And then click finish. Let's look at it, the 3D. It's basically right there because we didn't set the extrusion part, but it's okay. We could just stretch it like this. I'm estimating it because I don't know so by look only. So now it looks nicer and it's a different design that we are accustomed to. Just click finish and then we could use the same chair. So we could go to level 1, CS, and spacebar. We can add in 2, like I said, and it looks nice now. What we could do is we could select this and move it a little bit at the top so that we have a better room here. Now, I like the spacing and everything. something different. So let's load in. So let's go to insert, load family, and then let's go back to the main and go to specialty equipment, domestic, and then I believe we have it on mid-range. So the cooktop we need to add. Let's use the electric. So CM, and then we have the cooktop right here. Let's click it back, and then what we want to do is go to edit type and then uncheck the show label. Apply and then OK. And then let's load in the hood, which is under high end, and then the island hood. So let's load this one, press OK, CM, and let's add it right here. Click it here, same here, edit type, and then uncheck the show label. Let's click on the section, or let's just go here, double click, and then the hood is not appearing because of our view range, or it's not shown because, let's figure this out. Let's look at it at 3D, and where is the hood? It's below here. So the elevation of this, put it in 900, and then from there, let's go to section, and we could just move it from here to the top. It looks too high, so I'm gonna put it down, and then I'm just gonna extend this hood right here, so the length of the neck or something. I'm just gonna move this one a little bit right here, and that looks nice. I just want to double check, so we have it exactly right here. So that's why we're gonna put it at 935, so that it's at a little bit at the top. So there we have it. We finished the kitchen. So thank you for watching, and I hope you liked the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below.